Hello there, and welcome to yet another episode of my Car Mechanic 2021 series. We are on the last of 4 cars for the Drag Race DLC. So today, we're going to be working on the Bolt Reptilia R6, which is basically the in-game version of the new generation Corvette that's out on the market. And, yeah, like she said, she's got most of her parts. And as you saw in a previous episode, we did actually clean the car up this time. But, yeah, it's kind of in middling shape, so while it may be mostly parts complete, we'll still need to do the full restoration. So, yeah. Everything looks like it's in halfway decent shape. Even the engine doesn't look too terribly bad. So, yeah. I got a fair bit of work here, so let's go ahead and get started. Start popping all the body panels off. Let's see, that's a fender, not just this little thin sliver of metal that's like about the size of a postage stamp on the side of the car. Like some of the cars we've been working on in the recent past. And give me the trunk. Ooh, that whole thing is, oof. That whole thing was the back bumper on it. Okay, so are you at 1%? Yes, you are. Okay, that generally means we have everything off of there, so... Well, actually, you know what? Before we do the repair, let's take care of the frame real quick. I almost forgot to do that. Okay, so now, yeah, frame's now 100%. Let's see what we can do here. Cool. And I know like the glass and all and the headlights and taillights are not going to be fixable, so we'll have to replace those, but it looks like I've got everything else. Let's take a looky. Get rid of the license plate. Alright, sort by condition. Yep, all the glassware, headlights, taillights, just like I expected. So, alright, so we'll get rid of all of that. Just like that. Yeah, let's see what we can find here. Although I suspect we're probably going to have to go half and half. Oh, no, maybe not. Okay, so we got right tail light. Okay, got a door window. Looks like another door window. Good. Got the windshield. Front window. Got one headlight. Another window. The right headlight. And the left taillight. Okay. Should be able to just drop all this on there. Oh, hang on. Actually, we can fix this. Hang on. Let me do this, pop back out real quick because I forgot to put the bloody rear window in. Okay, there we go. Got ahead of myself there. I mean, I know a lot of people like the design of this car, but it just, I don't know, man. It just looks weird to me. But then again, when I think Corvette, I think a car very different than this. Maybe it's just because I'm old. Alright, so that's it on that. So we should just need to get a custom plate made. I'm gonna do just my normal custom plate. Alright. Right when I get up there, it's like, nope, you gotta go back into assembly mode. You should be, yeah, 100% on body and frame. So let's knock out the interior real quick, since that usually doesn't take too long. Okay. I moved and it thought I was done. I was like, no, I'm not done. I was trying to get a good look at something up front here, but I was looking to see whether or not this had a second fuse box, but it doesn't look like it does. Good. Go to normal mode. And actually, hang on. Before we do that, let's get rid of this old stuff since we already marked it. There. Now we go by all new interior. We do that. Brand new steering wheel. Two brand new leather seats. Okay, so body and frame and interior are now all 100%. Just that easy. That's also why I try to take care of those fairly early in the process, because they don't take very long to knock out. Alright, let's get you up in the air, because I want to take care of your tires next. Once we get the tires done, we'll take it over to paint, give it a fresh paint job, and we'll drain the fluids and do the prep for engine removal. Oh, come on. Okay, there's all the tires. Let's get these torn apart. Okay, that should be all of them. Yeah, okay, it is. So let's fix the rims. Alright, good to go there. Take a look at our inventory. So we got two different tire sizes, two very different tire sizes and diameters. Okay, so mark two of you and two of you. We'll get rid of that. We'll keep one of each for comparison. And off to the tire shop. Okay, sport tire. We are looking for 355, 25, 21. Two. Okay, let's verify. 355, 25, R21. 355, 25, R21. Okay, so that one's good. Go here. Check our shopping list. We get rid of that. And now we're 255, 30, 20. So, okay. 255, 30. Alright, let's verify. 255, 30, R20. 255, 30, R20. Good to go. Yeah. Just want to make sure I don't have any others. Alright, let's balance them. Slap them back on temporarily. We want, yes, the 355s. That's what we want. Okay, just want to make sure. I went to start putting the lugs back on, and it didn't bother to check which ones I was doing, so that's why I backed out. All right. Go. Cool. All right, let's get you over to paint. All right, let's see what our choices are. That's a factory color. Interesting. What kind of liveries can we put on this thing? Okay, I'm not hating that. That's actually looking kind of boss. Let's take a look at the others just to... Ooh, okay. Okay. They got their ketchup and their mustard on this one, but sure. Actually doesn't look bad either. And it does kind of contrast nicely with the tone of the paint. You know what I mean? But all the other accents are black. You see them? Like the trim around the edges, that little air intake looking thing. Kind of want that to blend in. So let's take a look at the last one. That's actually That's a bit much. Oh, there's a fifth one? What's the fifth one look like? About the same? Oh dear. Oh, there's a seventh one. Holy shit. I tell you, let's go with that. Mainly because it would just blend in with the other accents on the car. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Yeah, we're actually painting this the factory color according to the game. So, more than happy to oblige. Alright, back on the lift you go. So, we're going to go front to back, just getting rid of all the fluids. Interesting placement for the battery. Oh, up, up. Damn. I didn't look hard enough the first time. It does indeed have a second fuse box on her. We're going to have to be wary of that when we actually get to the that part of the restoration there, that we're going to have a fuse box in both ends. Ah. I knew there was one of these that had one of those. Or at least one. I think at least a couple of them actually had that, if you count this one. You're empty. You're empty, and then we just need to get get this bad boy in the air so we can get the oil drained out. To be honest, I mean, in the right lighting conditions, that paint job, I mean, in natural light too, this paint job actually looks pretty boss. Not gonna lie. Like, my very first car was almost this color. It was a shiny copper, kind of almost a brownish copper color. Yeah, like I said, it was a nice car for me when I was like 16 years old. Okay, one more click. Get up there. Although the frame color looks almost like somebody painted it with like construction yellow, but hey, that's fine. Nope, not done with it yet. There we go. Alright. So, now we did that. And this is rear wheel drive, so we'll have to pop the wheels off, pop the drive axles out. The exhaust is about as long as my arm, so I think we're just going to yank all that out. First, we need to get rid of these. Kind of like we did with the previous cars, because I think most of these were like rear engine cars anyway, so it should be standard practice for us by now. Alright, get rid of that drive axle. Yep. Okay. Alright, off comes the gearbox. I gotta say, the engine is actually looking to be in pretty decent shape. Is that all one piece? I'll be damned. Okay, give me all of that. Nice little 3-piece exhaust. Nothing fancy. Right straight to the point. Let's go, and we got a couple of things we've got to do here before we can continue. Mark you, and mark you. Because we're going to put in aftermarket versions of all 3 of those, and the rest of this will fix up. In fact, let's go ahead and get that. Got to take that other tire off. Okay, fancy exhaust section and 2 rear mufflers. Bam. Okie dokie. So that way we have that all ready to go when we put the engine back in. We can just slap all that stuff back on, minus the axles, the drive axles, because we're going to wait until we redo the suspension before we put those back in. Basically what the deal is. So, yeah, let's go. Alright, double check. Everything's 100%. So, like I said, once we get that engine fixed up, put back in the car, we'll slap all that back in, except for a couple of pieces. Tires and the drive shafts, or the drive axles. And, yeah, we're ready to... ready to yank the heart out of this beast. There's just like, there's like too many freaking weird angles on this. You know, maybe they're trying to like model the European sports car look or something. I don't know. That car's not built for people like me. Let's see. Pull-up game is strong. Okay. Anyway. And demonetized. Oh wait, I'm not monetized in the first place. Oops. Anyway. Look at this absolute unit. My wardrobe has a wider color palette than this engine. I'm just kidding. Kidding. Mostly. Right. So, what we're going to do here, same as we've done before. If the case is your first video, I'm sleepy in more ways than one. We're going to take this engine apart, piece by piece, top to bottom, front to back, however, which way we go. And we're going to save and fix the engine block and the crankshaft. Everything else is going to get thrown out. We're going to build all new stuff using it. We're basically you build using all new parts, and as many of those being performance parts as possible. So, let's go ahead and start the teardown. So many rusty bolts. See, the way that light comes in on the skylight kind of makes it hard to see the bolt highlights. Kind of annoying. I say that as I've done, I think we're either at or close to 60 episodes by now. Only one rusty bolt this time on this side. Too bad. Alright. Give me your throttle. There we go. That should be able to come off. It's got a little cover plate. Look at that. She can't take off either. Ooh, she's got push rods, you say? I don't know if it's the current gen or if it looks like a fairly recent gen Corvette, so I didn't look at the details that closely on the wiki page before starting this episode, so if I get it wrong, I got it wrong. Wouldn't be the first time I did that. I mean, look how many times in like my previous episodes I referred to the Arezzo Cortona as the in-game version of the Ferrari F40 instead of the F50, which two very different cars. Well, until after I posted the episode, and I was like, I started posting the episode, and I was like, I should probably check on that, and I corrected it in the video description. You know, which, you know, no, it wouldn't be the first time somebody got a car wrong. At least I was in the neighborhood, right? Got all those there. We need to do that same thing over here. Alright, let's get this timing cover off. Yep. Thank you. Alright. It's off the top of the engine and the sides. Just kind of work our way up the middle. I know I missed one. I'll get it here in a second. There we go. And there we go. Now, I can hear somebody, you know, nobody really comments much on these videos except for spammers anymore, but I can just sense the people watching going, this isn't the most efficient way to rebuild the engine. I know. We all have our own ways of playing the game. You find that way, and you stick to it. And also, it's the easiest for me to do in, you know, the tired state that I'm in. No one way to play a game like this. There we go. Let's get rid of everything else that's not 100% condition. Bam. Okay. So this is our starting point. We have an engine block and a crankshaft that are in perfect shape. Now we're going to order our new parts. Work our way around the car. Oh, it's got a hammy. Actually, it does. Let's be sure to grab the right. We might have to get different rings for it too. We'll find out here in a minute. I think we got everything on the list that we can put on the list. Right, performance shop. Fuel filter. A new flywheel. Filter standard parts, roller standard parts. New camshaft. And yeah, power steering pump. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart there. Go. 8 pistons with Conrod for V8 Hemi. Boom. Crankshaft bearing caps are standard parts. Go back over here. That. Grab the roller. And 3 crankshaft bearing caps. And could use the standard rod caps. And let's see. Let's do that. Yep, V8 Hemi. We want to make sure we don't get the standard one, because remember, you look at the piston and it's like, that has a different name on it. Yeah, keep that shit in mind. Okay. That on. Put this on. Go camshaft, go. Ooh, shiny power steering pump. Alright. Let's get the crankshaft bearing caps in first. Drop the piston in. Or pistons in, I should say. Alright, let's throw some rod caps on there. Cool. Alright. Should be everything. It is. So let's get the next round of parts ordered. Oil pan. Got a clutch plate. Like we're ready for a cam gear. A couple excuse me. A couple of engine heads. Right. Go to the tune-up shop first. Clutch plate. Cam gear's not a performance part? Really? Are you serious? Okay, guess so. Alright. Whatever, man. Oh, I'm thinking of, yeah, I think I know what I was missing. I was thinking, for some reason, I was thinking it was the camshaft itself. Did I get the... Yeah, I did get the cam gear. Okay. For a moment there, I conflated the camshaft with the cam gear, and I was like, why isn't that a performance part? And like, that's because it's not what you think it is. So I need more caffeine. Okay, now we can right the engine and do the next round. We got a almost said crutch pressure plate. Yeah, that would have made a whole lot of sense. So, two exhaust manifolds, gigantic intake manifold. Like we got a bracket and a timing chain. Oh, and we almost forgot these. 16 push rods. Alright. Go here. Grab the pressure plate. Exhaust manifolds. Brand new intake manifold. You could tell it's performance because it's bright, shiny red. Yep, but in this case it's actually true. Okay, timing chain, the arm, okay, the bracket, and the push rods look like they're all standard parts. Yeah, let's go ahead and back over here. Grab the bracket. And timing chain. And 16... Oh, dual overhead cam. Right. Okay, sure. Sure, Jan. Okay. I'm willing to bet that's probably it, since that says the same thing the push rods did. The V8 DO, basically V8 dual overhead cam CGM. Because none of the others look anything like what we took out. I mean, if it's wrong, it's wrong. We'll just sell them and get the right part. I have a hunch that I'm correct, though. We literally just took them apart, like, what, 10 minutes ago? The right one? It is. Surprise, surprise. Alright. Goes on there. Sometimes you can make those intuitive leaps. Sometimes better just to be cautious and buy the parts in the next round. I almost did that with this, but I was like, this is a fairly unique looking rocker arm that this engine uses. I was like, yeah, let's just go ahead and get them. Won't save us that much time, but did save us an extra bit of parts buying later on. Oh, we forgot the spark plugs. We can get those here in a minute. Get these other fiddly bits done first. Let's go ahead and get that pressure plate on there before I forget. Oh, get me back up there. Thank you. Alright. I'm just going to drop these in, then we'll go down the line and do the rest of the push rods. Okay, good on that one. Well, like I said, we'll just work our way down the side. We still have the timing chain, I believe, to put on. Okay. That's everything on that round. Let's get, before we forget about it again, 8 spark plugs, an alternator, clutch release bearing in the throttle, cover plate, did we get any of the engine covers? We did not. That's what I was looking at before. Grab both of those and get both fuel rails. Okay, that should be a pretty good parts list. Performance shop first. Okay, brand new spark plugs. Okay, there's our alternator. Clutch release bearings, a standard part. Get the throttle. Timing cover, standard part. Engine head cover, I believe, is a standard part as well. Could be. It is. Okay. Just making sure. Okay, a couple of fuel rails. Right. Over here, and we'll get the rest of our list. Okay. Bit of a clearance issue on that first one, but the rest of them should be okay. Cool. Alright, that's everything on that round. So, crankshaft pulley and a water pump. Looks like we're gonna need 8 of those ignition coils, which I'm assuming are aftermarket. Make sure we got anything else. Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's go. Yep. Rest of that's standard parts. Took care of that side. Alright, let's take care of the stuff here in the front. I think that's about all we got left at this point. Let's get the necessary parts here. Looking to make sure we ain't got nothing else going on in the rest of the engine. Right. So both of those should be standard parts, so no need to go over to, or all three of those should be standard parts rather. Alright. Let's do it. Put the finishing touches on this engine and we can get it back in the car and be off to the next thing. Okie dokie. I think we're done. Looking pretty spiffy, if I may say so myself. Okay. Let's get you off the stand. I'm gonna drop you back in the car. Back up. There we go. Now I can put you away. Before we get to taking care of the frunk in the engine compartment, we'll drop the gearbox and the starter and the exhaust back in. A hard time believing 3 bolts hold that in, but sure. Those are some really strong bolts. Okay. Okay. Good to go on that. Alright, so now we need to bring this down because we're going to need to work on getting a little sundry items in these 2 compartments done. Go ahead and mark everything in here. None of these are going to be fixable. Cool. See what we can fix up. Alright, done and done. Like I said, I already marked the fuses, so those are good to go. So we'll need the washer fluid. And, okay, the battery we can recondition. Fluid one. We had just the two there because the power steering, the coolant, and the oil are in the back. So yeah, I think we're okay. So let's pick our list. Okay, we've got all the fuses, the washer reservoir. Right, let's fix the battery real quick. There we go. Plug it in, count to 10. Or not. Cool. Now we can go and sell everything that's not 100%. Bam. Okay, we're gonna go to. Let's go to back to the standard parts list because there's only like one thing we need from there. So get rid of that. The rest of this is all fuses and relays. So relay type C, 2 fuse type A's, 2 fuse type B's. Okay, fuse type C. How many was that? 4. Okay. Alright, let's get her done. These relays and fuses dropped in here, and then we can pop the fluids off here, and then we'll probably go ahead and take care of the gas tanks and the fuel pump. They got these funky ones you see in these real fancy cars. Let's actually, before we even do that, get back up there. Oh, we forgot the ABS. Can't forget that. Perfect. Alright. Dealer up. Just realized that that front cross member is missing all 4 of its bushings. Yeah, it's not good. Everything else looks like it's there for the most part. Oh, except no. Okay, your end link is there. Okay, we're gonna make a slight tweak. We got to get the car up in the air to get the gas tanks anyway, but we're gonna make a slight side trip here. Why don't you have those little doohickeys? Okay. Amazing what this will let you do with the car, including letting it roll on its own when it's got no bushings on the cross member. This thing wasn't even technically parts complete. Looks like it might be now, though. Okay. So back to the... I forgot to take the fuel tank, or a fuel pump out. Like, why you don't come? Easy fix for the missing bushings. Wasn't that big of a deal. Okay, so the fuel tanks are standard. Got those put in. Fuel tank B. Fuel tank C. And as for the fuel pump, we're going to go here and get the slightly enhanced version. Okay. That takes care of the exhaust, fuel system, and the frunk. Now we need to get the engine compartment taken care of. Right. Again, well, man, that's a lot of fuses. Okay, so we're going to mark these just like we did the other one. Right, grab these since we went ahead and removed the fluid from them. And what else? Anything? Got the ECU already. Good. We just got the airbox. Kind of looking around, make sure we got anything else. Okay. Pop out, let's see what we can fix up. Again, pretty typical result. The fuses and the relays are already marked, so I think it's just down to that guy, and that guy. And filter, I think that's it. Excuse me. Yeah, sell everything that's not 100%. Okay. Filter. Got you. Is anything else here? Don't think so. Let's see, that's electrical along with the rest of that. We need power steering and coolant reservoirs. Yeah, okay. Let's head over to electrical. Grab the ECU. And 4 relay type C's. Relay type A. 3 relay type B's. Fuse type C. 3 fuse type B's. And 3 fuse type A's. Bam. These little clips back on, and we'll be able to focus on getting the fuses put back in, and then we'll top off all the fluids. I think we should be done with this compartment. Alrighty. That's such a weird camera angle. I'm not gonna lie. Alright. So, yeah, looks like we got everything. Let me pop it into assembly mode. Look like we're missing anything else. Got both the fuse boxes, we got the ECU, airbox, coolant. Yep, all the fluids are in too, so yeah, good to go. So at this point, all we should have left is the front and rear suspension, which should be parts complete right now. Let's get you up in the air. We'll get those other 2 tires off, and we'll start taking it apart. I can't wait to dyno this thing. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty beastly sports car. Alright, let's get all this apart, shall we? Come off there. There you go. Okay. We're going to take the bushings we just installed to back out. Show me the... Not. There you go. Oh. Game. Close enough. Click on the wrong thing and it tries to send you to frickin' Narnia. Alright. Get this side torn apart. That should be everything off the front suspension. Let's take the back apart, which shouldn't take very long. Come on out. There you go. Alright, let's get the other side done. We're getting there. Alright. Everything off the back end. Let's get the assemblies torn apart. Right. Next we get to do brake discs. Yay. I mean, they're already in pretty decent shape to begin with, but it hurts to take the little bits of rust off of it. Plus, we have to do this anyway because it's 100% restoration that we try to do on every single car, so there's that. Should be it. Yep. Okay. Okay, focus mode time. So if I don't talk much, that's probably why I want to focus on doing this. This mini game's not that terribly hard, but when you're as tired as I am when I'm doing this stuff, you gotta be careful. So just bear with me. Almost there. And we're not going to be able to fix every single thing because there's always something like a consumable, like a bushing or, you know, brake pads, stuff like that. But we should be on a pretty good trajectory here, at least in terms of like how much left that we got to buy. Boom. Okay. That got us pretty far. Backed into page 3 before we even drop below 100%. Right, so we're going to mark everything, sell it, at least the stuff that we couldn't fix. Oh, pardon me, and buy all new. Alright, let's get rid of the unwanted parts. Go. Click. Yeah, like I said, not too bad. We get our rear springs. Sway bar front end links. Got our inner tie rods. Rear shock caps. 16 rubber bushings. Okay. Full set of brake pads. Front springs. 4 bearings. 2 front shocks. 2 front shock caps. 2 rear shocks. Boom. Front sway bar. Couple of new hubcaps. And a couple of outer tie rods to round it off. Get those assemblies put together before we get started. Make our lives much easier by doing that. Right. Good to go. Let's get started. Finally get rid of the drive axles. See, if I hadn't paid attention, I'd have put the wrong tire on. So we want one of the 355s. Boom. Alright, let's get over here. Just a few more parts and back part will be done. Okay, we want the 355. Right. Let's go up here. Take care of all this stuff, up front. Oh, back up, soldier. There we go. Giddy up there. There you go. Alright, let's finish up this side and then we'll do... Come on. Come on, game. Thank you. We'll finish the other side of this and then we'll be done with the actual restoration part of it. Got everything here. Quick pass there. Everything looks good. See how easy that all snaps together when you got the assemblies done ahead of time? Because otherwise you'd have to stop what you're doing, go over and do the one for each side, or... Yeah. A little bit of prep saves you a little bit of time. Not a huge amount. But enough. There we go. Everything's 100% condition. Very cool. Oh. Yep, inventory's empty. Now we get to go do the alignment. We'll align the headlights and the wheels. And it's off to the dyno room. Yeah, close enough. Alright, done and done. Oakley dokley. Let's see what the results of our hard work truly are. Okay. 490 horsepower at 463 pound-feet of torque. Again, not bad. Not bad. Way more than my truck's got, but then again, my truck's not a sports car. Made by the same company, but that's about all they got in common. Well, besides that craptacular infotainment system. See where we end up. Go, baby, go. $783 horsepower. So a gain of 293 or a 60% increase. Nice. 706 pound-feet of torque, so an increase of 244, so a 53% increase. A very respectable increase, considering what all we did. Right. Let's get some pictures. Can't crouch when I'm... I think that's so dumb that you can't crouch very easily, or at all, for that matter, when you're a little more centered. Bam. Okay. That's going to be a thumbnail for the video, which by the time you read or watch this recording, rather, you'll already have seen it. This one's going on Discord. Like here, I can hit C and crouch, which if you didn't know you could do that in this game, you sure can. But for some reason, when you have the camera in hand, you can't crouch. I kind of want to get like a low angle shot, but I imagine there's probably some kind of tweak I could probably do, or maybe I don't know if there's like a workshop thing for that, or who knows. It's got a mix of the dials, the dial thing. I'm assuming that's like traction control, and that's. Please tell me it's a regular shifter, and has a fucked up looking one at that. Right. Sorry. Got distracted looking around. Speed track, please. We're going to do this with a controller. I could feather the throttle a little bit better than I can on the keyboard. So, ready to go? Everybody strapped in? Sorry, I hit reverse. And 40, and 50, and 60, and 70, and 80, and 80, 90. Come on, buddy, get to 200. No. 195. See if we can't do any better from this end. Okay, 60, 70, 80. Oh, we came close. We did 1 mile per hour better the other direction. 196. All right. Let's return to garage and then we'll check our numbers. This is an interesting little build. No major gotchas. Everything went pretty smoothly, to be honest. Okie dokie. Time to talk numbers. It looks good there. So, bought this for $91,252. You can see the condition bonus. performance, body, and parts values, how they all factor in. We're selling this thing for 265,086 credits. And we're doing that for a profit of 173,834. So, not quite doubled our money, but pretty damn close. Yeah, we're up to 4.7 million now. Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna give this thing a more befitting paint job. Yeah, this is the FMW Roadster. So this is gonna be our filler episode, as I've said before. And we're doing the electric car DLC next, so we'll move this into day 2, because that's 2 episodes out. Yeah, these aren't some boring Teslas. These are fancier electric cars. So the Atom 330, which still looks like a kind of a Tesla, kind of, sort of, in some ways. You're going into position 2. Looks like we cleaned it, but I'm not entirely sure. I think we did on the previous episode. Hey, at least the dash works. Look at that. Anyway, we need to pull another car out of storage. So we have the first and the second cars in the electric car DLC, so we'll need to pull out the next one. The Atom Renton. Move to garage. Thank you. And it's dirty as frig, so we'll have to clean it. Do that real quick. What'd I get for buying this stuff in a hurry? I literally just switched between like barn finds, junkyards, and auctions, trying to find everything, so they're always in various states of cleanliness. Alright. So, move to position 3, because that's going to be 4 episodes out. So, that's a look at the future. We still have one more after this. Elenti Easy. And then we'll have our last filler car, which is a Bolt Chapman. Again, this one's basically a Caprice, aka the kind of like the distant cousin to the Oldsmobile Delta 88, which was the first car I ever drove, so that's why we're doing this. In fact, we're going to give it pretty close to that factory paint job, but I'm going to try to see if I can get it in a two-tone. I think last time I did this car, which was not on this YouTube series, I had a two-tone on it because I had this car with that almost that color paint job with a garnet colored cloth roof on it, or a Landau roof if you know what that is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one just for the sentimentality alone. And yes, it did have the really thick ass sidewall stripes. I think they look good on the older cars, man. Maybe it's just me. Who knows? But yeah. And then it's off to the, you know, Chrysler Dodge Plymouth DLC, aka the Mopar DLC. And then it's going to be it for this series. Unless they come out with some other content. Or, you know, maybe sometime in the future I might end up doing workshop stuff. Who knows? I don't tend to mod my games too terribly much. But yeah. That's all we got for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe buttons and then hit the little bell thing if you want the alerts for any new streams or videos that come up on the channel. I'm still waiting to hear back on the job thing, so for the foreseeable future, I'm still trying to do 2 to 3 videos a week. But yeah, as soon as I hear something, I will let you guys know. Trust me. I'll be all over that in whatever video that ends up in. So, alright. See you in the next video, and see y'all later. Take care.